Hello, it's me, Ustakarsh. I work in underwear factory for Mack Weldon. I make Mack Weldon underwear and like to talk to you about it.
Why, it's me, Mr. Santa Claus. What are you saying? What's your name again?
It's not important. Let me tell you about Mack Weldon underwear. Whatever you're wearing right now, Mack Weldon is better.
Why, I agree. Merry Christmas.
Mack Weldon is a men's essentials brand that believes in smart design, premium fabrics, and simple shopping.
Shut up, I'll take over from here. Why. They even have a line of silver underwear and shirts that are naturally antimicrobial, which means they eliminate odor.
I don't like odor.
Who does? They want you to be comfortable. We're still talking about Mack Weldon. So if you don't like your first pair, you could keep it and they will still refund you. Why.
No questions asked. Go to MackWeldon.com and get 20% off using promo code PFT.
Hey, go to MackWeldon.com and get 20% off using promo code PFT.
Oh, welcome. Welcome, everybody. That was like a bomb coming out of the sky, but instead of bringing explosions, it brought welcomes. Have we thought about that? Dropping bombs in other countries that say, hi. Because here's what I know for a fact. Everyone loves being pranked. They love it. Especially the kind of prank where you think something real bad is about to happen. And then the reveal, no. So then you have that instant adjustment going from terror to, I'm happy this happened. It was fun for both of us. I remember when I was a kid, me and my cousins used to do this thing where we would just scare each other. Literally, you'd wait around a corner and then you'd jump out at someone. So much fun for everyone involved. I had a cousin, my cousin Denise, who got very into this. And one time we were standing in the kitchen, my cousin Doreen and I. And I looked, something caught my eye. And I looked and I saw entering the kitchen was a terrifying old man. And it was my cousin Denise who'd gotten a hold of a very good mask. And she had wrapped herself in a blanket. And she got like some kind of stick to use as a cane. Like a branch. Let me tell you something. It was scary. When I think about my reaction in the moment, I don't remember it as being like, this is great, I'm glad this is happening. But when I look back on it now, I gotta fucking give it up. Pretty funny. Now, I never had a little sister, but I do have a friend named Maria, and I may have spoken about this on the podcast before, who is like maybe just a couple years younger than me, but is very slight of frame. And so I took, as an adult, to scaring her. Like she's a good friend of my wife's, and she would come to the door, and I would see her walking up the path to the door. And so as she was about to knock or ring the bell, I would whip open the door really fast and then instantly apologize. Why was I doing the thing in the first place? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I felt compelled to do it. And then I instantly realized it was wrong when she was scared. Then I had to force myself not to do that anymore, even though she was always a good sport about it. And she said, no, it's fine. No, it's not fine. Why would that be fine? Maria, I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to... Oh, it is not the Maria you're thinking of, by the way. If you're looking at this, the description of the episode.
It's Maria Shriver.
Yes, it's Maria Shriver. Hasn't she been through enough?
Why do you scare her so?
Why do I scare Maria Shriver, good friend of my wife, when she's coming to our house? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spontaneanation with Paul F. Tompkins. I am the second part. This is a show where I invite a special guest onto the program to have a free-form conversation with me inspired by a blind question from our previous episode's guest. Then, I invite some improviser pals onto the show to join me in a narrative improv that is one continuous story as opposed to unconnected scenes, oftentimes utilizing details gleaned from the conversation with the aforementioned special guest. And it is all scored on piano by Mr. Eban Schletter. And that's what he goes like. Ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure, what a regional pronounced pleasure it is to have this gentleman back on the show. The last time we saw him, I can't remember the episode number, but it was a live episode from San Francisco Sketch Fest entitled Storm Drain. And he is here in the studio for the very first time. Please welcome back to Spontaneanation, Jon Hamm. Jon, hello.
Hi, Paul.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm glad to hear it. You're looking well?
I do look well.
You do look, exactly. You got to own it, baby.
Why not? Guys.
Jon,
Yes.
I understand you have a movie coming out.
I do.
It's called Beirut.
It's called Beirut.
Oh, Beirut. I'm sorry.
It's the sequel to Baywatch.
Is that so?
Yes. What you do is you're if you didn't like that movie, you're rooting for this one. So you Beirut.
There we go. There we go.
It is a political thriller set in the 70s in the hotbed of turmoil that was Lebanon.
Walk me through what your hairstyle would be in this film.
Let's call it longer than maybe you're familiar with.
Okay.
Then followed by a severe haircut.
So does it take place in two time periods?
It does indeed. I start in the 70s, then I go back in the 80s.
Okay. In the 80s, lots of gel?
No, it's more of a it's breezy there.
Sure.
You want to let it go. And
I know
when
I
you're,
do.
And when you're dealing with terrorists, you don't want any gel.
You don't have time to gel up your hair
Don't have time.
when
Paul.
there's terror happening.
There's terror and there's negotiations that need to happen. My guy
That's right.
has to solve problems. He doesn't have time for fancy hairstyles.
Is his name Chaz?
By the way, maybe the coolest name I've ever been named.
What is
in
the
a
name?
movie.
What is the name?
His name is Mason Skiles.
Was this a real dude?
No,
I don't know.
of course not.
Well, why are they? I hear that instead of the 70s,
Mason
I'm
Skiles,
assuming
if he
this
was
is-
a real dude, would probably be like the 2 guard on the Knicks. Like, he's got a decent crossover and some range. Maybe he's a 3-4 year guy.
So is this based on a true story or not?
It is based on true events. Essentially,
one of those, eh?
Sure. It is not based on a true story, but it is sort of placed in real time, and it takes place about, and it tells the story basically of why we kind of got it wrong, what we did wrong, we being the United States of America, and how we maybe could have set a different path for sort of peace in the Middle East, and instead it went sideways.
So it's not based on an actual one single true story, but based on true events, like the movie Fire in the Sky. And this comes out when?
In a week.
In 1 week from today.
Well, ish.
In 1 week, this movie comes out.
In 1 week.
Okay.
By the way, I should mention that the movie itself lasts for only 1 week.
It's only a week-long movie.
You have 1 week to see it, and if you don't, you will be ridiculed for the rest of your
Is
life.
that true? Is it only is it limited release?
I will, taking a cue from your life,
Sure.
come and scare you every day if you don't see it. I will just pop up at work, at friends' houses, at the front door, whatever you have, and I will terrify you for the rest of your life.
Guys, you've been warned.
See it.
See it or suffer the consequences.
Else.
The scare sequences. Jon, I have a question for you from our previous episode's guest.
Okay. Who was it?
Would you like to know?
I would. Is that okay?
It is okay. Very few people ever ask.
Well, sorry, I'm from the Midwest. I'm polite.
Of course. And suspicious.
And also, just
Our previous guest was Ryan Gall, one of the stars of The Last
Ryan
OG.
Gosling?
Ryan Gosling. He asks you this. What is your biggest failure?
my biggest failure.
Now, you may interpret that question however you wish.
That's a very good question, by the way.
It is a good question.
Not a thing that most people care to broach, honestly. I would say this. I think that one of the biggest failures I've ever had in my life, and I'm a big believer in failure. I think it's how we progress as humans.
It's part of life.
It is part of life.
Yes.
It ain't a bed of roses. Which, by the way, terrible bed.
I think it depends on how many roses.
Well, I mean, it would smell nice, but there's a lot of thorns. Look, every rose has its thorn.
I guess I didn't assume that it was like the full rose.
You just thought it was the tops.
Yeah, I thought it was the tops.
Now, by the way, that's a delightful bed.
Rose tops?
Rose tops.
Yeah.
Pure rose tops?
Yeah.
Soft, squishy, smelly, delightful.
Life is no bed of rose tops.
Life is not a bed of rose tops because every rose has its thorn. Just like every night has its song.
And every cowboy has a sad song.
Which, by the way, I don't think Roy Rogers had a lot of sad songs.
Oh, I bet he did. He's got to have had one sad song about how like his horse ran away or some shit.
Trigger bailed?
Trigger? What a terrible name.
Sure. That's just automatically triggering. I would say here's what I would say if I'm looking back on my life, on my deathbed of rose tops. When I was in high school, I was a good student. I was a sort of earnest student, and
Did it come naturally to you, or did you have
hard worker? Hard worker. But also just enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed the process of going to school and learning and doing things. And I went to a very kind of progressive school that you were encouraged to do stuff. And so when it came time to go to college, I was sort of like, what do we do? What's the thing? And I slept through. I remember saying like, I need to set my alarm because I have AP tests tomorrow, and I slept through them.
Wow.
And because of that, I didn't have the things to go to. I didn't have the scores to send away to the college that I wanted to go to, which was in the great state of California, and I had to go elsewhere.
Now, do you feel that was self-sabotage? I
believe it was. I believe because I can remember saying like, I'm not going to set the alarm. I'm going to wake up.
Right.
What a dummy.
And was it fear of success?
Probably.
Like you were afraid, because that's
a thing.
It's a huge thing, and especially that age, you are going from a world
into the great unknown.
Yes, and it's so much like the transition from say junior high to high school is like nothing. You probably know some of the same people that are going to your school.
And it's the same vibe. And it's the same
you're
thing.
still living at home, maybe.
This is terrifying.
Yes. Yeah.
Now I will say, like because of that experience, and I just remember just being, and I rushed to the thing, and it was literally like banging on the door, and the guy wouldn't let me in. Oh, and I just remember thinking like, oh, this sucks. Hard.
Yeah.
And then I remember going, like when I moved to LA, finally came out to LA to sort of pursue a career, having the kind of same impulse of like really, really terrifying, sort of heartbreaking fear.
Yeah.
And then pushing through it and going like, no, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, so I grew up a little bit between the age of 18 and 25.
The hardest thing, I think, is recognizing that it is fear. Because I know for me being, having been a fear-based person for a long time, it took me forever to recognize that's what was going on.
And it's a process it really is growing up. It's a process of kind of, and it's what we all do. I mean, it's like standing on stage and like making shit up is not easy.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying, but it's also wildly fun and super rewarding. And when you can push through the part where you're just flop sweating and terrified into the part that is actually rewarding, that's living the dream, honestly. But, and it does take a minute. The thing for me when I see people that are so young that can do it, I'm like, how do you how are you a thing?
Yeah.
It took me 35 years to figure this shit out. Like,
I think also it's like it's time, and it is recognition of what's going on. And I think it's a hard thing to say to yourself, especially if you grow up, like I grew up in a big family. And so there's a lot of defensiveness of like, you just feel like people are coming at you from all sides. And it's like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
I'm not wrong in this instance. You're the wrong one, actually. And so it's very hard to get to that point where you can say, oh, I'm doing this. I'm the one that's responsible for this.
That's what you're talking about, self-sabotaging or fear of success.
Yeah.
Where you're, and I grew up in a small family. I was an only child. So I spent my whole life in my head or in the library or whatever, but by myself. So it was the opposite. I didn't have anybody coming at me. I had my own like nonsense to deal with.
Right.
And it's a bizarre and challenging thing to figure out. And yet once you do it, it's incredibly rewarding.
When you look back on that, sleeping through those tests, have you forgiven yourself, or do you still sometimes have a little pang about it?
I think I must have turned a corner at some point in my life and realized, it's the most trite kind of ridiculous cliche that people say, but like everything happens for a reason. But when you kind of like sit with it and go like, well, I fucked that up. Okay, now this is happening. Yeah. And just keep going. Yeah. Just keep progressing, moving forward and learn from it. I mean, it does sound dumb and it sounds very trite, but it is true. It's a true thing where you're like, well, okay, that happened. It was not great, but yet you got to wake up tomorrow, the next day, and do something. And so now this is happening. And then, if you kind of look back on your life and you think like, well, what if that wouldn't have happened? Who knows? It's the butterfly effect or whatever they call it. The thing where you're just like sliding doors, whatever it is. I don't know. Like
the 3 Men and a Baby.
3 Minutes. We're just naming awesome movies. It's The Gladiator. Anyway. But it really is if you can kind of be okay with that on yourself, and it sounds very Tony Robbins, we're getting into this thing, but like if you can just be okay with it and say like, okay, well that happened, it wasn't ideal, and yet I'm still alive. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. Yeah. And it's like it's why it's a great question. It's why like what's your greatest failure is a great question, because when you look back on it and you're like, that's not that bad.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah. And there's a lot of things that first of all, there's only so much you can control. Absolutely. You cannot change what has happened before. So you do have to kind of take it easy on yourself. As long as you are learning something from what happened. Exactly. And just being present. Really. Yeah. Like being present is such a wonderful lesson to learn in so many aspects of life. Yeah. Not just acting or improv or what have you, but like take it in. Like be in your own self and be aware, and look, it's not all great. Like life is a Rich Buffet. Do you know Rich Buffet? I haven't seen him in such a long time. He's doing great. Is he really? He's really come out the other side. Yeah. Is he still waiting in a line to eat food? He's still doing that, but I mean, other than that, Richard he's an important person in my life, just strictly for the Omelet Station. Good old Buff. Dickie Buff. Dickie Buffs. Good old Dickie Buffs. Dick Buffs. Jon Hamm. The movie Beirut comes out a week from now. It is April 9th as people are hearing this. And everyone listens to it on the first day it comes out. As it drops. That's right. It is wildly hot. It's 20 minutes past midnight on April 9th. The movie Beirut is in theaters next week. And then you have 1 week to see it. That's it. Sorry, guys. I don't make the rules. I just enforce them rigorously. That's right. The Green Mile. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to take a break. During the break, we will procure a location for our improv, And then you're going to get to meet our improvisers. Stay alive no matter what occurs. I will find you. Hey, everybody. During this break in the action, here's a popular ad from earwolf.com. I want to tell you guys about a very special episode of another Earwolf show you should be listening to if you're not already. It's the one that started it all, Comedy Bang Bang. Oh, good. I'm glad we're doing an ad for Comedy Bang Bang. I hope that it gets some attention finally. That's right. It's the show where host Scott Aukerman talks to interesting people. I wonder if that's how it was described in Time Magazine, who did a list of the 50 best podcasts that my podcast was not in. Each week, Scott starts the show by interviewing a celebrity guest. That sounds novel, but there's an open door policy and you never know what kind of odd characters are going to stop by. This week, there's a special appearance by frequent guest Jon Hamm. Oh, is there? Is there really? So, because Jon Hamm is on a podcast, we're doing a special ad for it. I hope that applies to all podcasts who have Jon Hamm on this week. And you'll have to listen to find out which of his characters show up. Now that's it. They're having fun. Jon Hamm doesn't do characters, not as we know them in podcast land. Don Draper, that's a character, okay? The, boy with the golden arm, whatever, the baseball one. Whoever that guy was, he was a character. But, you're not going to listen to a Mad Men podcast. If Mad Men was a podcast, no one ever would have cared about it. Hey, look, you can't prove that. I'll go to my grave believing that's true. So, okay. So check out frequent guest Jon Hamm on Comedy Bang Bang. Oh, here it says in the copy, have you ever been a guest on Comedy Bang Bang or have a story about CBB? Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have been on the show, and here's the story. Comedy Bang Bang's doing just fine. Is Comedy Bang Bang doing a Spontaneanation ad? I hope so. So here's your call to action. Listen to Jon Hamm on Comedy Bang Bang this week, and subscribe now on Apple Podcast, Stitcher, or wherever you listen. And you know what? Give it a chance. We're still here. Welcome back, everybody. It is time to meet our friends from the land of make pretense. Seated right catty corner for me, meow. This one, not the Maria I was talking about before, but a different one.
Because I have no memory of that, if that was me.
That's right. You've never been to my house.
I've never been invited, no.
An important distinction. You felt it was necessary to make that distinction.
Well, because you said it in maybe an accusatory way of like maybe you'd invited me to a
like
party.
I'm constantly inviting you. And
yeah, you've never been. Well, I've never been invited.
Well, I've never been invited to your house either.
Well, it's not much of a house. A house is not a home. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you guys live together, you and your boyfriend?
Yeah, we do. We do.
With that little dog?
Yeah, with Miss Piggles. Yeah, it's a home in that we love each other.
Maria Blasucci is here.
How dare you? Listen, we're in a transitional period home-wise.
Really? You looking for places?
Well, I mean transition in that there's no light at the end of the tunnel. We're just in the tunnel. Do you know what I mean?
I really don't. I didn't know that you were looking for a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know what the tunnel refers to.
The tunnel's the apartment we're in right now.
Right.
And we're trying to find a nicer place, but, funds are a little tight.
Sure, I understand.
And,
money's too tight to mention.
So, if you have an extra bedroom...
I mean...
All right, you know what? Forget I asked.
Are you being evicted?
I'm not being evicted, but...
You would just rather stay in a spare room in someone's home.
Yes.
Wait until a cheap place opens up.
Yeah. Is that so much to ask? God forbid.
How long have you been in this place?
Well, see, here's the thing. I lived next door to the place we're at now, and the place that I lived in next door was gorgeous. I mean, it had a fireplace, hardwood floors,
beautiful,
light. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
then me and my roommate who I lived with, we both got boyfriends. And then it was kind of who gets to stay in the apartment. She got it. And then the place next door opened up. And
Next door in the same building?
yes.
Okay.
And it's no good.
No good.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's just right on Los Feliz Boulevard. It's
Right.
loud. I mean, listen, I'm in a transitional period home-wise, as I said. And I think within the next couple of months, you're going to see a lot of changes in me, for better or for worse, because I'm sick of where I'm at.
Wow.
In a good way.
Oh, okay. But we are going to see changes for the better and for the worse.
For the worse. More for the worse, but in a good way.
What does that mean?
It means what it means, Paul, but in a better or worse, you're gonna see changes from me, and you all watch your backs in a good way. In a good way. In a good way.
Watch your backs in a good way.
Yes, God. I feel like I'm being attacked.
Maria, I cannot wait to invite you to my home so I can scare you as you walk up the front path.
I'll scare you.
Oh, we'll see.
Believe me, I've got things in this mind that could scare birds.
Shall we make that could scare birds? The toughest creatures alive. Can you think of a living thing less skittish than a bird? Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn away from Maria and look across right next to me. That's right. I don't think he was ready.
I got scared.
He was drinking a water drink. He drinks water drink.
I drink a vodka drink.
Sean Diston is back.
PFT.
Sean, how are you?
I am good. I'm really glad to be back.
I like your shirt.
Thank you. My shirt is very flowery.
Yeah, it's like a really elegant Hawaiian shirt.
It is. You know, when it's raining as it is today in Los
Yes.
Angeles, you've got to fight it with a summer shirt.
That's right.
That's what I offer to the world.
Now, Sean, you came here from New York.
That's right.
Had you lived in Los Angeles prior to living in New York?
No, I've lived in LA now for about 2 years, and this is my first time here, and I love it.
It's great, right?
It's great. It is terrific. I'll never leave.
Now, Sean, we gotta get an update.
Oh, yes. Here we are. So for...
Hold on a second. The listener may or may not remember.
Yeah, previously on
Spontaneanation, Sean Diston, of course, left some boxes of important tax documents
Clothes, boots, tax documents.
at his now ex-girlfriend's apartment.
Right,
This is the
and-
apartment they shared together.
She's now moved twice. So she's taken...
Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah. She's taken the boxes with her. It's a pretty sore subject at this point, Paul.
The last time we checked in, she was not happy to be asked about them. I think you may have mentioned to her that people would want to know on this podcast.
Yes. Now, the update, Paul, is that I'm going to ask all the listeners to, if you know who this person is, let's not mention
Oh,
that
dear.
this is being spoken.
Had that been happening?
No. It's
Okay.
not a
Thank
huge
God.
deal. Not a huge deal, but I do need to get that stuff. It's been a long time. There'll be little flare-ups every once in a while where I have to apologize, and she's right. She's right because I've left my personal belongings at her place. For
I
a
thought,
long time.
had you not authorized her to just get rid of it?
I think I have, but that's even work in itself. It's a decent
That's
amount
true.
of stuff. You've got to take it out
That's
and then
very
dispose of it, donate the clothes or something. So I booked a trip to New York. I'm going to New York in June. So Paul, there may be an update on this coming.
This is a scoop.
Because I'm booking a trip and I'm going a day early because I've got business to take care of in New York. I'm getting my tax documents. I'm getting my coat. I'm getting my boots. I'm getting all my stuff.
What coat?
It's one very expensive coat.
Well, pardon me, all to hell.
No.
John, of course, we look forward to hearing the
Yes.
update. When is this trip planned for?
June? June, yes.
Okay.
And and then there will be a podcast behind the paywall where we just talk about updates on this.
That's right.
It's on Stitcher Premium.
That's right.
And it's going to be 8-minute episodes, but hit it up. It's every week. So
It is called Sean Dystrophy.
exactly.
So it's going to be a one-off Subscribe to Stitcher Premium. It's only $4.99 a month. Use the offer code SPONT. Sean, I'm going to look away from you and look across the table. This guy's sitting right smack dab across from me. I feel like he hasn't been on the show in quite a while. I could be wrong. Maybe he was just on the last episode. And I have a brain problem. But he's back now, and that's the important thing. Mark McConville.
Hey, Paul.
Welcome back to the show, my friend.
You know, I have a brain problem when it comes to that stuff.
You got a BP?
I can't remember when things happened or how long ago they happened. I'm very bad at it. And I will be very honest and upfront with people about it. Well, they'll
Do
say
people
things
get mad that you can't gauge the history of things? Like how long ago something was?
No, but people will say, like, when did you move to LA? And it takes me a while to think about it.
Do you don't remember the year?
2002.
Okay, well there you go.
Right there, though, I did have
You
to
did
do a
have to
little. So, well, it was this and then that. I just don't have anything to mark time anymore.
Well, that's the thing about living in California, isn't
Yeah.
it? Is that the seasons we
There's
don't
no
get to see
brutal-
that? There's no brutal season.
No winter.
No fall, really.
But then, really, is that a great mark of time? Like, oh, remember all that shoveling I had to do in 2014?
Sometimes here's what I'll
Lots
do.
of snow.
For winter in Los Angeles, I'll just start shoveling my backyard. Just start making holes and filling them back up again.
Why not?
It's my backyard. I do what I like. One time I had a water main, and then I got shot up into the sky.
I'll never
was
forget.
spout of
What year was
water.
that, though?
I wish I could remember. Mark,
Yeah.
where have you left your tax documents?
They're in a file cabinet. I don't think I've ever left. Well, maybe my parents probably have some from, because I don't know how long to keep them either. I probably have tax returns from when I worked at a coffee house in my old hometown.
Oh, God. Have you ever...
They probably exist.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Have you ever left something at an ex's house and then you had to retrieve it at some point?
No, I don't think so.
You always make it clean?
I did have a.
Let me collect my things.
I did have an instance where a girl I was dating, and I found out some business had been going on behind my back, and she lived
She
sort
formed
of
an
in my
LLC?
neighborhood. S corp. No, but I promptly walked, when I found out I was at her apartment, I walked back to my apartment, got all of the shit that she had left in my apartment, put it in a box, brought it back to her house, threw it on the front stoop,
There you go.
never talked to her again.
Good for you.
That's not true. I have talked to her again.
To say fuck you?
A little bit. A little bit.
Shots fired.
And that girl's name was Natalie Portman. Maria, have you ever left anything in an ex's house that you had to go back for?
I didn't go back for it, but I
You just abandoned it.
No, I had someone. Yeah, I had someone. It was years later. I left a MIDI.
A MIDI keyboard.
I left a MIDI keyboard to plug in for GarageBand. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I used to write some songs. They're on MySpace if anyone wants to look. One's entitled "Eyes of an Angel."
Yes.
You can really still find it. But some of them are kind of good. Anyway, I had this MIDI keyboard that, you know, I used to write all my hits on. My song Mr. Hastings went, Mr. Hastings is a song that traveled the world because a lot of my friends because a lot of my friends were going to study abroad when I wrote it, and they were listening to it all over the world.
So it's a worldwide song when it's on someone's iPod that travels the world.
Would you like to hear a little bit of it?
Oh, are you fucking kidding me? I would like to hear all of it.
There's a man on my wall, and his name is Mr. Hastings. I cut him out of a magazine. He's never met or even seen me, but one day we'll be as happy as can be. Oh, Mr. Oh my God.
Is this a camp song?
No, okay, it sounds kind of like whatever right now, but you should hear the instrumentation. And then the chorus is, oh, Mr. Hastings, won't you buy me a sweater? I will wear it on our very first date. If we leave right now, we can be together, you and me, Mr. Hastings.
Now, I remember women, from what I remember, women used to sing this when their husbands went away to the war. We're talking like 1918. Maria, I don't know what I expected, but that was not what I expected.
Well, that one was more of a jig. That was more of the poppy. Song.
Okay.
Right. Now imagine a cafe in France. And one of Maria's friends is listening to this.
It was a hit. It was a hit.
I've never bought a clothing item for a woman to wear on a first date.
You should buy her a sweater.
Pardonnez-moi. What is this song you're listening to?
It's called Mr. Hastings.
Monsieur Hastings?
Who is this Mr. Hastings?
And, you guys can laugh all you want, but
No, I bet it was good. The instrumentation.
well, it's not that good.
You guys can laugh all you want, but it's not that good.
No, it's
Ladies and gentlemen, we have to take another break. During the break, you will listen to the ad. When we return, we'll reveal the location of our improv, and then we're going to do that improv. All this and nothing else when Spontaneanation returns. Hi there, Paul F. Tompkins. We're out here on the street asking people about their favorite meal delivery services. Sir or madam, do you cook or have meals delivered?
I'm a sir, and no, I don't.
Well, have you considered having meals delivered to your home?
Sure have. I've been interested in that for a long time. It just gets pricey, but I'd love to have some food. I'd love to open up that door and have food thrown right in my face.
Thrown in your face?
Well, shoved right down my gullet.
So you'd like to be relieved of the responsibility of chewing the food as well?
I don't want any of that responsibility. I'd love to have that food just pushed down into my stomach, and I wouldn't have to worry about it, and I could get back to watching the A-Team.
If you don't mind my asking, how old are you, sir?
I don't mind you asking. 66 years young.
And you watch the A-Team every day? Every day.
Almost all day long.
Well, the show has been off the air for quite a long time, so are you just rewatching it over and over again?
Not in my. I don't. All I'll do is I'll watch it, but I'll put different plots in my head behind some of the stories. So I'll hear them say things, but I'll put different intention behind what they say. So that gives it a whole new show. So you can get 90, 95 different shows out of one show.
So let's say there's an episode about a kidnapping. They're going to go rescue a kidnapped person.
Right. Hannibal might show up and go like, hey, it's your lucky day. A-Team's here. But if you change it in your mind, you go like, hey, it's your lucky day. A-Team's here.
So you're not really changing the storyline. You're changing the
inflection.
The inflection of the characters' voices.
Yeah, but that can do a lot, like I said. Anyway, the only thing that could help the A-Team, I open that door, you shove food down my face so hard and so fast I can get back to more A-Team.
Do you want the entire transaction to take place at the door?
Well, I don't want it to happen anywhere else.
So that's a yes then.
Take it as you want. Depends how you say yes. You could say, yeah.
What if I told you there were a service that would do this and would only cost you $1,000 a month?
I'd slap you, say, that's impossible. And then I'd slap you again. I'd put you down and I'd be like, stop lying to me and my family.
You would like that? You think it was a good deal?
Well, I wouldn't believe you, so that's what.
Well, let's take for granted that I'm telling the truth.
But then I'd believe you. I'd say that sounds fantastic. How do I sign up? And where do I get $1,000?
Okay, so you don't have the money for this.
Well, I mean, I don't. That's all.
Cut the shit. Cut the shit. You can't afford this.
I don't have a lot of money. I mean,
You've wasted my time.
I don't want to.
I can't believe I listened to that A-Team story.
It wasn't a story.
Yeah, you're goddamn right it wasn't.
Listen,
Just
don't they
shut
have a
up.
free trial
Just
or
shut
something?
Up. Shut up. There's no free trials in this life. Back to the show.
Hey, don't leave me. Where are you going? Where are you going?
Oh, yeah. That was Mr. Hastings by Maria Blasucci. Third straight week in a row. It's at number 9.
You can use it over your ad. and then that will make sense.
Wait, what?
Under the ad you just played.
Right.
You can use Mr. Hastings under it. You could go on MySpace and put it under the ad.
And then it will make sense?
That you just said that was Mr. Hastings.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
I'm not
Retroactively
crazy.
will make it sense.
No, you're
I
not
was with
crazy.
you the whole time.
Well, you guys are acting like I'm some crazy woman.
Maria, do the intro to the big ones right now. Go. Please do listen to the big ones. Please, you must listen to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have procured a location from our guest, Jon Hamm, and it is time to reveal that location. But first, just so as you know, in order to aid us in our storytelling, we use 3 sound effects that move us about in space and time. I almost said space and pine. Those aren't things. Let's say we're in a scene and we want to find out why am I? Let's say we're in a scene. We need to travel into the past for any reason. Someone's having a memory. We're learning how something came to be. Anytime we go into the past, we use this flashback sound effect. Now, if we want to return back to where we were, travel back from the past, get back in time, or anytime we want to go into the future at all, we use this flash forward sound effect. Now, this last sound moves us only in space, not in time. Let's say we're in a scene, we want to find out what's happening at the exact same moment somewhere else. We're still in the present, just moving to a different place. We use this meanwhile sound effect. Past, present, future. Everyone gets it. And I'm also very sad to report that the future button has burned out. There's little light bulbs inside the buttons.
Is that an ominous sort of indication of our future?
It's not ominous. It is a little bleak.
It looks,
If that's the one button that burned out.
and the present is red.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it is time to reveal the location for our improv provided to us by Jon Hamm. And that location is the moon. The moon. We take you now to the moon.
Okay, I'm going to exit the capsule and step out to. Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to exit the capsule and
Is your cough still got you?
yeah, I thought I was going to cough, but I didn't.
Yeah, exit the capsule, Don.
All right, here I go.
Hey, just whatever happens out there, I just want you to know that I've had a, I was going to say a blast.
Sure.
But I really have had a great time traveling through space with you.
Hey, thank you, Gina. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it's been fun for me too. You know.
Really? I didn't know because there was a couple times I said something and you kind of looked at me and I was like, I don't. And then we went into the barber shop where we were supposed to be, and we said, how long of a wait? And they said, this isn't even this. It was still not the place I was supposed to.
I'll be honest with you. I did zone out during that story because I've never been to space before and I was a little freaked out.
Oh, okay.
So at one point I thought I saw something in the other corner of my eye.
Oh, wow. That's always fun, huh?
Well, it wasn't fun. I was scared.
Oh.
But I turned and looked and there was nothing there. And I don't know, maybe my mind was playing tricks on me or something.
Yeah, I know what that's like. Believe you me.
What do you mean?
Just sometimes things in my head.
Like you
People, places, things that don't exist.
have hallucinations.
What was that?
Nothing. I'm gonna exit the capsule now.
Yeah, exit the capsule. Hopefully I'll stay around.
Please don't strand me.
I'm moving the racket.
No, don't.
Oh no, I can't
don't
stop
don't
it.
do that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I mean it. So good luck out there, and I'll be right behind you. Okay?
Thanks. Hey, should I say a thing before I go?
Yeah.
All right. Not used to this either.
Do you want me to record it so people know you said it?
Yeah, but delete it if it's dumb.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Like this one time, my cousin, we were in Mexico. We were doing, well, it was actually and she was crazy. Oh my God, the car's on fire. Don't. Let him go. Let him go. Adios mío. Los niños.
Gene? Mm-hmm. I should probably
yes,
exit the
leave the
capsule.
capsule.
I also don't speak Spanish.
They're going to run out of oxygen.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely.
This is a major problem.
Well, I mean, what are we supposed to do? I mean, we're not there to help them. I mean, we're mission control. I mean, and we're supposed to just control the mission from here, right? We're astronauts too.
I added a 20% supply buffer as well. They're burning through this. Oxygen, food, everything they need to stay alive up there is almost gone.
I think it's because one of them just won't shut up. Clearly, there's one of them. We should have, when we test our astronauts, we should test to see how lonely they are.
What the hell's going on? Let me in there. Houston, we have a problem?
All right, you love saying that. We might have a bit of a problem, yes.
Yes, sir, we do have a problem, sir.
What? How come they ain't on the moon yet?
We have we have a lonely astronaut, sir, and because of that, some of the food is being depleted and the oxygen.
They're gonna die up there, sir.
Yes.
If we don't move them back here to Earth, they're gonna die.
Jesus Christmas, what is going on down here?
Colonel Buffet, we're doing everything we can.
I knew I should have got here sooner. I thought I'd just wake up. I should have set an alarm.
Colonel Buffet, the mission, what exactly is the mission for them up there?
They're just supposed to stand on the moon and then come back, sir? That's it?
Hold on a second. Get that egghead in here. Where's that scientist?
I'm right here, sir.
All right, now.
He sits under the table. It's very strange.
We don't trust him, sir.
What's not to trust?
Aren't you guys scientists too?
Yeah, I'm a scientist, but this is
Not
the
like
real,
this,
is
sir.
a different
With all
type.
due respect, sir.
I wear suspenders.
What's your name again? Garanimus?
Garanimus Jones.
Listen, Jones, explain to these people what exactly the mission is.
The mission is very simple. You see, Colonel Buffet, they're to go up to the moon.
Right, check.
They're to step onto the moon.
Next step.
And they are to perish.
Wait.
Okay, see,
Okay,
we should have...
sir.
This is why we don't trust.
That part of the plan was classified until this very moment, sir.
Unreal.
You see, the space program has been ignored for years. Something newsworthy is sure to get us on the front page of the Times. I forgot where I was.
You were saying that this is gonna get some newsworthy thing, and then...
You've been talking for so long.
You've lost your place 6 or 7 times, I'll say.
I will, isn't.
Jones, what kind of scientist are you anyway?
Can't.
You see. Now, where was I?
All right, look, we need to save them. We need to hatch a plan to save them, because I'm not just gonna have our astronauts die on the moon, sir.
Why not? Don't you want the space program to continue? Why, people will care once they die. Don't you see? Colonel, you must see.
Yeah, well, look, fellas, I was torn. I didn't have a better idea. I said, let's do a sexy car wash. Then Jones came up with this idea of having a couple astronauts die on the moon. You got to admit, it will get a lot of attention.
It will get the most attention.
Sir, those are 2 of our most brilliant astronauts.
Dimitri.
They are?
Dimitri. And she was actually lost, which was crazy to me because she looked like she knew exactly where she was.
Gene,
Yes.
I really should get out there. I feel like I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
All right, so I'm going to say here.
Oh,
we
yeah,
go.
let
So
me get
record
my
this? Yeah.
camera. Yeah, okay. And record.
Ask not. Oh. delete.
Okay.
Okay, going again.
And action.
Oh, I started too high.
Hey, check out this video of this really stupid astronaut who, kind of screwed up the, speech he was trying to do. Listen to this,
You definitely deleted it?
Yes, I deleted it.
Okay, here we go. Just try it.
And record.
Hey! Delete.
I think it was a prank or something.
I did. I deleted it. Okay, go ahead. Oh, go again.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Deleted.
That's hilarious, man. But I heard those guys died on the moon.
Yeah, they did.
All right, just pick the best one and.
Okay. Well, I thought they were all great because I think that you've got.
It's in there somewhere, right?
Honestly, if I may, you've got charisma.
Exeter 4. This is Houston.
Oh,
Do you copy?
Hey, Houston.
Hey, Houston.
Bad news, you two. You're not coming home. We drew straws down here at Mission Control, and I was the poor sap who had to let you know, we don't have enough food or oxygen for you to make the trip back here, so, I guess, do whatever while you're up there, and, because I don't know where... This is a...
Tell them to just do whatever when they're up there. Okay?
That's what I should tell them?
Say it.
I feel like I should be more calming to them,
just
or do some sort of...
Hold on.
I don't know what we're telling them.
We got zero backup plan.
I don't think we do.
No, sir.
We
There
sent
is
two people.
no backup plan, Colonel.
We left all the plans to Jones.
I'm sorry. I just assumed that you were scientists, not saints.
Wow.
Garanimus, how was work
It
today?
was fine, Mother.
I've prepared you a selection of soups.
I'm not hungry. I ate before I came. I had a...
Do that so often.
Garanimus, eat the soup.
Grandpa, please.
Eat the soup. Do not insult your mother.
You know what I think? I think you two are bad people. Bad people. And that's what I think.
Joan, just go home. It's your dinner time anyway. Gene, you heard that, right?
Houston called. What did they say?
Oh, you didn't hear? It's not good.
No, I heard them. Yes,
You
he
weren't
said,
listening.
no, I was. And he said, have a good time up there. Food? He said something,
Yeah, he said something about food.
okay, that's great.
There's not enough food or air to get us back to Earth.
Oh, great.
Why? What?
Oh, sorry. What did you say? There's not
We're going to die on the moon.
okay.
What is Gene?
I don't understand what you're saying because I don't understand what you're saying because I'm still thinking about my cousin. So I didn't finish the story. So my
How can I ask?
yes.
How close are you to finishing this?
Very, very close.
Like within a minute?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Honest? Swear to God?
I swear to God.
You swear to God you're gonna finish the story in a minute?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, I didn't tell you about Jerry. And Jerry said, okay, get off the boat. You're not going to Tijuana.
Gene, it's been 25 minutes.
Okay. Do you want me to record you? Sorry.
No! Gene!
What? Now, hold on. Why are you yelling at me? Now, I came up here to get on the moon. I'm not here to be your step stool.
I'm not familiar with that as a phrase.
When you step on someone to get to something.
What do you think I'm stepping on you to get to?
The moon.
No!
Well, then
We're
can
there.
I get up?
Oh, her vitals are spiking. You can see that she's gonna start hallucinating any second. I just
If she hasn't already.
if she hasn't already, I would warn them to separate. Is that what we should tell them to do? Because
Colonel, why are you just standing there waiting for food?
I'm hungry.
Colonel, you're not a help to this team at all.
And you're in charge, sir, with all due respect.
That's right, I'm in charge. I don't help. Garanimus Jones, what are you doing here? I thought you went home to dinner.
I did, but I came back. They made too much soup. Now listen to me. I say let the broad hallucinate. I say let her hallucinate and let them go peacefully.
To what end, you madman?
Madman. Madman. You're one to talk, Dimitri.
What do you mean?
What?
Tell them, Dimitri. Tell them about what you did to the cat. I know all about it. I hacked into your phone.
Wait a minute. Mission Control cat?
Yep.
The office cat? The office cat here at Mission Control?
What did you do, Dimitri?
I put the cat on the ship.
What? Dimitri, you put a cat on that lunar module?
It's up there with them right now, so there's really 3 lives at stake.
And
What?
oh my
What?
God!
What?
A dog! What is that? What is
It's a cat.
Oh my God! What is that doing here?
It's the Mission Control cat.
Oh my God! But you can see it too.
Yes, it's a cat.
Okay, and you can see him too. The gentleman with the barrel on his head next to you. You can see him too.
You don't have to, identify him by what he's got on his head because I can't see a gentleman.
Okay, well that's shocking. But then again, okay, so it's happening.
Gene, you're hallucinating.
Yeah.
Mission Control cat up on my wall. She's looking at me while I try to sleep. Mission Control cat up on that poster. Feeling so good about being in space.
And that was Mission Control Cat playing under an advertisement for Lisa mattresses.
It's getting cold up here, huh?
Yeah, I don't think we have much air left.
Well, why don't we take our cat and go out to the moon?
Exeter 4, this is Mission Control.
Yeah, go ahead, Mission Control.
We have a new order for you. Eat the
Really?
cat.
What?
If you eat the cat, we might be able to get you back in time.
It's just enough calories to sustain your traveling back to Earth if you ate the cat and possibly breathed the oxygen from its lungs.
I was going to say, air seems to be the number one issue.
You're probably having spikes in your blood sugar levels.
Exactly.
Being low. Right. So what are the opposite of spikes? The
valleys?
Sure. That's what's happening now. So you need to eat something, and then you'll probably go into a coma on the way back. But during re-entry, you might wake up, and we think there's a chance you'll survive.
We wouldn't just asphyxiate in our sleep?
No.
We don't really know. None of us have been up there.
Okay. We'll get back to you. Gene, what do you want to do here? Do you want to eat the cat and hopefully go into a coma on our way back to Earth?
What's the second option?
I'd just die here on the moon.
Okay, what's the third?
There is no third option.
Oof.
I guess the third option is we don't eat the cat, we try to go back to Earth, we don't go into a coma, and we die on the way back to Earth.
Can I tell you something, Don?
Sure.
I don't even want to go back to Earth. My cousin, you know, the one I was telling you about?
Yeah.
She doesn't even like me. Now that she met Jerry and they live in Mexico together, it's like I don't even exist. Yeah, I said it. I don't even exist.
Okay, but you wasn't challenging that. So you don't want to go back to the whole planet of Earth because of that?
Well, the moon looks pretty cool. I mean, I could spend the rest of my days on the moon, frolicking around with our new cat.
That's going to be like a couple minutes.
Well, what's a couple minutes, you know? You know, some people spend their whole lives and they don't do a thing. We could spend the rest of our life, minute or so, whatever it may be, living to our full potential.
I mean, it's true. We did travel to the moon. That's a big one.
That's such a big thing, Don.
And I never have played with a cat, much less on the moon with an attractive
This
lady.
reminds me.
Good, you didn't hear that.
My sister, Lorraine, had a cat. I'm flying, she says. I can't even see. Get the fuck out of my house.
How are they still alive?
I don't know. It
defies all scientific explanation, sir. They should have been dead a long time ago.
Here, let me get on that horn there.
Here you go, sir.
What's the name? Exeter?
Exeter 4, sir.
Exeter 4. This is Michigan. This is Colonel Buffet. Do you read me?
And she was.
Shh, it's the Colonel.
Oh.
Yes, Colonel, we read you. Listen, I've never advised this to any of my astronauts before. So this is going to sound crazy, but I want you to take your helmets off. Take our helmets off?
Whose?
What do you mean, whose?
Whose helmets?
Ours.
Who
He's
are you
saying
talking
the
to?
Colonel. I'm talking to Colonel Buffet.
Oh.
How are you not? Gene.
Okay, yes, let's take our helmets off.
Well, because we could die. No, if my hunch is correct.
Sir, why would you?
You're not. No,
It's crazy.
Colonel. You shut up. Okay, Dimitri, I'm mad at you about the cat. You're already in the doghouse.
Listen to him, you two. He's got something to say.
Garanimus, if you played me this whole time, if you manipulated this to happen, I'm gonna be so mad.
You'll do what?
I'm mad enough to spit.
Spit away, maestro. Spit away.
All right, he's telling us to take our helmets off. I trust Colonel Buffet.
I do too. He's great.
All right, here we go.
1. Oh, we're counting to 3? Are we counting to 3?
Okay, yeah, sure. Why don't we count backwards? You know, astronauts and stuff.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Okay, I did it.
Oh,
Hey, I can breathe.
me too. But I've still got my helmet on.
Yeah, take your helmet off.
What the hell? They're still alive.
Of course they are. The cat doesn't wear a helmet.
We should have seen that from
We
the beginning.
totally should have seen
The
that.
cat was just living there in space.
So wait, they must not be on the moon. Is this some sort of fucking prank?
Are you kidding me?
Garanimus.
Was this a prank?
You can tell him.
They're in Joshua Tree.
Hey, Gene, look over there.
Oh, I have that tent.
Hey, what's up? I can't fucking believe we fell for this.
What's the point of the prank?
I will say, I was mad. I gotta give it up. God, this is funny. This is good.
fun, right?
It's funny.
It's funny until you think of this. They don't have enough food to get back here.
From Joshua Tree?
I only gave them 20% buffer. If my calculations are correct, and I think they are, that's about 1,300 miles they have to travel without any food.
Well, that's very interesting, except that my parents are on their way to Joshua Tree right now with a boatload of soup.
And it all happened in a place called Spontaneanation. Mark McConville!
Yeah.
What do you want to tell people about? Where can people find you? It is Monday, April 9th.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mark McConville.
Mm-hmm.
You can listen to the Pistol Shrimps Radio podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Maria plays basketball,
That's
and
right.
myself and Matt Gorley talk about it while she plays, and then occasionally she'll do an after-game interview thing.
Absolutely.
It's real fun. And then check out the Andy Daly Pilot Podcast Project.
Andy Daly, Podcast Pilot Project.
Did some stuff for that recently, and that's coming around. So
That's
check
right.
that out on Stitcher Preems.
We just did a live show,
Yeah.
The Travel Bug with August Lint. So much fun.
Come on.
Everyone loved it.
Yeah.
Sean Destin!
Yes,
All the same question.
At Shaun Diston on Twitter and Instagram, and look out for my new Stitcher Premium show where I update stuff about my tax documents.
That's right. Sean
Every week.
Dystrophy.
Shaun Dystrophy.
Check
coming
out
to
Shaun
Stitcher
Dystrophy.
Premium.
Did you say your social things?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Maria Blasucci, where can
Yes.
people find you?
M_.
You almost said it again.
__ Blasucci. You can listen to Amanda London, my podcast, The Big Ones,
That's
which
right.
Paul and Mark have both been guests on. We'd love to have you, Sean.
I'll do it anytime.
I would love to hear you on that show.
Yes. But we have a lot of fun, so check that out. It's just on iTunes or whatever.
It's a terrific, I love it. It's a
thanks.
must listen the day it comes out.
Oh, thank you.
Love it. Love it. Have me back on. I hear you're always having Matt on from
He's
this
just
portraying
around.
show.
He's around. Like today, a bunch of people, we stopped in the middle of recording it, and everyone, because people had to go to the bathroom, and I was just in there like eating a banana, and he comes into the microphone and just starts talking into it.
That sounds like him.
I said, get out of here.
It's the only way he knows he's alive.
Yeah.
Eban Schletter. He's Eban Schletter on all the things. You can go to ebanschletter.com and check out Eban's non-spontaneanation work. Eban Schletter is only the best. How do you spell Eban Schletter? It's very simple. EBANSCHELETTER.
I love that.
Thank you, Maestro. As for me, go to paulftompkins.com/live to see if I have any live dates coming up, which I don't know if I do. Follow me on the social things at PF Tompkins. Maybe I'm singing about a license plate. I bet I am. Thank you to Earwolf for hosting the podcast. Thank you to Engineer Ryan for engineering us all the way to the end of the show, which this is. Goodbye forever. Until next week, this is Paul F. Tompkins saying, Semper in Presenti.
Hey everyone, Scott Aukerman here, host of Comedy Bang Bang, and thanks for listening to this show. And I want to tell you, I have a great episode of my show, Comedy Bang Bang, floating around out there in the internet. Our good friend Jon Hamm, the madman himself, he's out talking about his new movie, Beirut. And we have Paul F. Tompkins and Jess McKenna and Zacharino from the Off Book podcast. It was a really fun time, and it's a good episode. So go check it out. You can subscribe to Comedy Bang Bang on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or wherever, honestly, you want to. I'm not here to tell you where to do it. Or I guess I just did. Anyway, Comedy Bang Bang, Jon Hamm this week. Check it out.
This has been an Earwolf production. Executive producers Scott Aukerman, Chris Bannon, Colin Anderson, and Paul F. Tompkins. For more media and content, go to earwolf.com.